guys, welcome to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you guys Scarlett's 2-year-old update. So if you're new here, you might not know that I have a 2-year-old daughter named Scarlett, and she was a 23-week micro-preemie, and she spent a really long time in the hospital. Today I will be doing her 2-year update. I cannot believe she's already 2 years old, but here we are. So we're in my workroom right now. She's gonna be running around through this video, but I wanted to make sure that she was included because it is so crazy to think that she's already 2 and so much has changed. She has just accomplished so much over this last year. Let me see, I have my notes here because there's a lot to talk about in this video. Every little thing that she does is a huge accomplishment and it's something to celebrate, and I have always said that. Every little milestone that they get is just something to be thankful for, and so I want to try and make sure that I include this all. So we just had her 2-year appointment with her pediatrician, and we also saw the nutritionist at the same time. I'll talk more about that later. But her pediatrician is really happy with where she's at right now. She weighs 19 pounds, 13 ounces. She hasn't quite hit that 20-pound mark yet, but she's gaining weight and every ounce counts, and we're just happy that she's growing. She also has stretched out quite a bit, so she is now 32 inches and 1 centimeter long. So she's long and skinny. As far as her weight to age growth, she is not there yet for a 2-year-old, but that's to be expected when you have a micro-preemie. It's really hard for them to gain weight, and it's especially hard with Scarlett. She's just so active. She eats a lot. Her diet consists of anything and everything. In fact, her high-risk doctor said that she is allowed to have anything she likes, as much as she likes, and as often as she likes. All the bad stuff that's bad for us, she can have all of it. So that's kind of what we've been doing. We give her everything. Hey guys, so really quickly, I was just editing this video and I realized that I forgot to mention all of the specialists that she followed up with when she was released from the hospital. So Scarlett was dismissed from the high-risk clinic. Her pediatrician actually took over the high-risk clinic, and so the doctor who was running that clinic before went ahead and dismissed her because she's doing so well. She also had a cardiologist follow up back in May, and he dismissed her as well. When she was born, she had a PDA ligation done, which closed her heart murmur. And so he said she's doing really well, and unless we have any issues, we don't have to go back and see him. She also had an audiology appointment to check her hearing because she did have problems with that in the beginning when she was first released from the hospital, but they also cleared her. The only one we haven't followed up with yet is her ophthalmologist to check on her ROP. So that's it. Like I said, we also see the nutritionist when we see the pediatrician. They are a service that we see through her doctor. We would see them here at home, but in the area where we live, they just don't offer that through the early childhood intervention. And it's a program that helps children who are having difficulties in different areas of development, and it helps them to catch up to where they're supposed to be. And so it's early childhood, so it's from ages 0 to, I believe, 3 years old. So the way the ECI program works is they go off of an adjusted age, and if you're not quite sure what that is, I'll explain it to you really quickly. Scarlett was born at 23 weeks. Full term is 40 weeks, so she was 16 weeks early. The way we calculate her adjusted age is we take her actual age. So right now we'll say she's 23 months, even though she's fixing to be 24. We'll stick with 23. And she was 4 months early, so her adjusted age would be 19 months old. So they expect her development to be between 18 months and 2 years old. Right now she sees 3 different therapists. She has an occupational therapist, which works with her fine motor skills. We have a speech therapist, and obviously she works with talking as well as feeding. And then we also see a physical therapist, and she helps with gross motor skills. So let me tell you all about that. We'll start with physical therapy. She is right on target, which I'm so proud to say. She started walking in March, and her actual age was 17 months at that time, but her adjusted age was 1 year and 1 month. So for her to be walking at that time was such a huge accomplishment for her, and I am so proud of her. She does have problems with having weak ankles, and I think that's just a part of her being premature. Her joints are just really weak. And the way her therapist explained it to me is that when they're in the womb, they're nice and curled up and they don't have very much room to move around. So they kind of use their muscles to push and wiggle around. Well, Scarlett didn't have all that time to grow big enough to not have enough room in my belly. So she was in a bed for the first 5 months of her life, and so she didn't get that resistance. Because of that, she has weak ankles. I hope I'm explaining that right, and I hope it makes sense. But the way we decided to fix that problem through physical therapy is to wear AFOs. And they look like this. So these are what Scarlett had to wear for a little while. She actually only wore these for about 6 weeks. We both hated them, she and I. It was a struggle to put them on. And the place that we went through to get them was not very helpful at all. It was a terrible experience. If you want to know more about that, like this video or leave a comment down below, and I'll do a video on that if you want. But like I said, she had to wear these for about 6 weeks before we realized that she was regressing instead of progressing. She was walking before she got the AFOs, and once she started to wear them, the way we did it was she would wear them 3 times a day for 30 minutes at a time. And every time I put them on her, she just refused to walk. All she would do was sit down and not move, and she would cry. So after talking with her therapist about it, we decided to just scratch that idea and not do them anymore. Instead, what we went with were high top shoes. I don't have them with me. Scarlett's actually wearing them right now, and she just left with her dad, so. But my mother-in-law and I found these cute little white high top shoes. We just used those to help give her that ankle support that she needs, and it has helped wonderfully. She is walking, she's running, she's working on jumping and marching. It's so cute. Like I said, we did her evaluation for ECI at the beginning of this month, and her physical therapist almost wanted to dismiss her, but there's a few more things that she wants to work on before that happens. We went from seeing her twice a month, though, to only once a month.
Woohoo! Good job, Scarlett. Yay! You having fun? Yeah. Woohoo! Can you kick your feet?
Ooh, what if we go this way?
Whoa! Yeah, good
there you
job.
This way. This way. Are you all done? Say all done.
All done.
Fine motor skills and working with her occupational therapist, we were seeing her OT, I think, twice a month, and we're gonna go ahead and stick with twice a month. Scarlett is still hanging out in like the 18-month developmental milestones, and she hasn't really progressed very much. She's still got that gap to fill to be up where the 2-year-olds are. As far as that goes, we're currently working with feeding using a fork or a spoon. She does really well, and she loves to eat sometimes, but she's just really stubborn. She likes to do what she wants, and she's Scarlett, and she's gonna do things in her own time. So she did struggle with being aware of her body. For a little while, we did have to have her wear a compression vest, which is this thing. It looks big, but it's actually pretty small, and it's really tight. It was a pain to get it on, but this helped Scarlett to be more aware of her body in space, and so it really helped her for a little while, especially in physical therapy. When Scarlett was learning how to walk and run, she just would kind of take off 100 miles a minute and didn't care if she fell, didn't care if she like just kept flying forward, and it's just not what we were wanting her to do. We wanted her to be more aware of her body and learn how to slow it down and take her time instead of just kind of throwing herself and hoping that she didn't fall. And so that was what the compression vest helped with, and it worked wonders. And it also helped with her occupational therapy, believe it or not. I think the tightness, it really helped to calm her down, and that's a sensory thing, and it helped her focus a lot more. Her OT and I did talk about this with her PT, and we agreed that we should try it, and we did, and it worked wonderfully. Once Scarlett started to wear it, she only wore this for about 6 weeks, but when she started to wear it, you could really tell the difference between when she wore it versus when she didn't wear it. Another thing that we did with her OT was joint compressions. The way that works is again, it's a sensory thing, but what she did was she held her arm down here and up here, and she like would smush the two together. Not really hard, just very gently, but she did that to all of her joints from head to toe. And we do that with Scarlett whenever she's very active and not being very attentive to what we're needing her to do at the time in therapy, and it really helps her. She really likes it, and you can just see her relax. So that's one thing that we started doing with OT, and I've seen a huge difference in her because of it. So as far as that goes, she's doing really well. Now let's talk about her speech. I am so proud of my daughter. So with speech, we've kind of had a bumpy road since Scarlett came home. When she first was released from the hospital, we lived with my mom for a little while, and she had ECI services through Lubbock. And both of those therapists were wonderful. She saw just speech and OT, but they were wonderful, and I absolutely loved them. When we came home, the transition was a little difficult. Her speech therapist, the one that we first started to see once we moved back home, was not very reliable. It was very inconsistent, and so Scarlett just wasn't getting those services. And as a result, Scarlett was falling more behind in speech. But then they introduced this telehealth program. So now she sees a speech therapist on the computer, and I work with her, and it's really awesome. I'll put a link down below to the website. We actually recorded one of our sessions so that people could see what telehealth speech therapy is like, and they chose Scarlett to kind of be the model for that. And so I'll be sure to put that link down below if you guys are interested in seeing how that works. But Scarlett's speech has really improved, and I've seen a huge leap and a huge difference over the last year since we started seeing the telehealth speech therapist. She now knows 6 signs, and she uses them consistently and frequently in order to let us know what she wants. And I do have to make sure to give credit to her speech therapist because she has been wonderful and helped us so much. I'm so thankful that we have her. I think another thing that has also helped is that Scarlett has started preschool this year. She goes to a Mother's Day Out program, and it's 2 days out of the week. She has become more social. She's growing into her personality, and she is just so much fun to watch her. She's got a lot of personality. She's very spunky, very sassy, and she's just that tiny little micro-preemie warrior. She gives all the sass to me and her dad all the time, and she started talking a lot more. And so that's how I know that going to Mother's Day Out and being able to socialize with other kids has helped, because I've really seen the progress that she's made here at home as well. As far as potty training goes, we've not started just yet, but I have a feeling we're going to start soon. She's starting to show us signs that she's ready, and so I think within the next couple of weeks we'll start with her. Wish us luck. Some of her favorite things to do right now are reading. She loves books. She loves to read. I'm glad that she got that from me. And she also loves writing, which is another thing that I think she got from me. She loves to walk around the house, and she'll have a little pen and a notepad, and she'll pretend to write, and she'll come to her dad and I sometimes, and she'll talk to us, and then she'll write something, and she'll walk off. And it's so cute. It's so funny to see. She also loves dancing. She has got rhythm like no other, and she really enjoys dancing. So I think that's all I have. Like I said, I'm just so proud of Scarlett. She has accomplished so much, and to see how far she has come has just been such a blessing. It's just amazing. She's such an incredible little baby, and I'm so proud of her. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe before you go. I can't wait for you guys to see more of Scarlett, so please be sure to hit that notification button. I upload videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're gonna start doing a lot more vlogs, so you'll for sure see a lot more of Scarlett. Thank you guys for letting me be a part of your day and for checking in, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye.